Now, if the AI is papal controller, it doesn't matter what if you have friendship with them or an alliance or a 200 relations, they will still excommunicate you if they can. So you always want to have your piety and prestige as high as possible, because of that. Because at any moment, a guy next to you could become the papal controller. And how you become the papal controller is, well, first of all, when there's a crusade going, it's normally the guy with the most piety, but that's not always the case. It's kind of random. Secondly, only Catholics can become it. So the Orthodox aren't going to do that. Um, Other than that, it seems pretty random who gets it. Because you look at him, he's got more. Oh, he's got realm duress. That's not good. That must be why all his dudes are declaring war on him. Lost my train of thought there. Okay, so basically, yeah. Being excommunicated is bad. You want to become the papal controller, although you can't really control how it happens. The easiest way to try to do it is to become a crusader and then go on a crusade and get a bunch of piety. But it's still pretty random. Okay, here's that lowering event for our reputation. I'll let her leave. Oh, stop. Okay, we need a new chancellor now. Oh, it didn't stop. Stop. That sucks because she was at 18. And the best I got now is 9. Great. Let's check our vassals now. Okay, the good news is our reputation's at 1.2 now. None of our vassals are losing loyalty, so that's good. That's good. We don't have anyone who can... Let's check our heirs and stuff. Okay, he's not even close to being old enough. Well, okay, there's an easier way to check this. And, characters. Done. Okay. Sort by age. Sort by gender. Okay. I'm going to look for people who are close to 16. Male-wise. And the closest we got is 10. Vincent. So it doesn't look like we're going to have a better chancellor anytime soon. Search for diplomacy. There's a couple people who might become better diplomats later. Who's this? Not him. Okay, that's her. Never mind. Stewardship, too important. Fuck Guilmarsh. Oh yeah, Guilmarsh. Replace him with this guy. Let's start with Guilmarsh. Good. Glad I thought of that. Okay, looks like the room has declared war on the King of Almohad. Why they did this, I don't know, but their allies in the county of Sebta have reciprocated. And it looks like they outnumber them by a large margin. But it'll take a long time for them to get over here. I don't know what would have caused him to do that. He's not a rival of theirs. It's actually a rival of his wife and Joseph. That kind of throws a wrench into what we were doing. Our reputation's slowly falling. We'll keep an eye on it. We might want to declare on the King of Almohad ourselves, just to prevent them from capturing the province. We'll keep an eye on it. If he does leave, we'll come in here and take his province, and then he won't be the King of Almohad anymore. That's the long and short of it. Okay, it looks like they were taking care of their business. And I'm kind of fixating on Spain, because this is kind of a dire situation here. Just gotta kind of watch. In any case, yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this, because we want Darun. Because it's part of our Jaffa Ascalon, and part of Jerusalem. And we eventually want Jerusalem. The Republic of Venice is at war with, like, Caligari, so I'm not really worried about this. If Venice wants to capture Caligari, I don't really care. That's not really within our sphere of influence. And then again, Spain really isn't in our sphere of influence. The only reason I noticed it is because I keep checking on our old kingdom that I profess to not care about anymore, but I still kind of do. You know, it's still our bloodline, and we're not on the successors list anymore, but I think we're pretty far down the list on it actually. Cool down. So yeah. And you know, as a Catholic, you always want to keep an eye on what's going on with the Crusade. It's not like a world-shaking thing. There's still 200 years left in the game, roughly. So I'm not too concerned that we'll lose this entire peninsula. I think historically the Muslims had captured most of it, and then it was reconquered in the Reconquista. If you remember earlier in the game, the Kingdom of Castile controlled pretty much the entire thing, so things can flip pretty much at the drop of a hat. If the Almoravids get realm arrests, things are all over for them, because it's really hard to control something this big. This is one of the biggest kind of contained area in the game. And it looks like most of this is Christian, but they're slowly converting it back to Islam. So Rome is still a heretic. I think this is part of the event that we got, and a bunch of people are being influenced by that. It'd be kind of cool if they took over and we became that. That'd be kind of sweet. Play like another schism. Right now, only one province in the area. Okay, so yeah, this is what was going on. They captured the Scotland province, and then they're fighting this guy back again. So yeah. This is what the Knightly Orders are supposed to do. There's a mod I have. It's in the pack of mods that I installed that gives them extra troops from time to time to make them effective. As they were historically, they were extremely effective. At least, especially the Teutonic Order, which took over a large part of Lithuania and Estonia. So, I think historically in the beginning of Europe Universalis 3, they control most of this area. So, and then there's the Livonian Order, which controls this, I think. Now, we haven't seen the Order of Santiago yet. if we did a crusade, I would actually hopefully spawn that, because that would be really cool. Um, but unlike the Templars in the, especially the Teutonic Order, the Teutonic Order can spawn anytime. There might be a time frame for that, so we'll just have to keep our eye on it. I've been saying that a lot lately, but that's kind of what you have to do. It's just pay attention to what things are going on. One of the great things about this game, and one of the things I like the most about this game, is that you can just kind of see how the world's playing out historically. Like the Kingdom of Croatia never captured Byzantium, so that's interesting. Kingdom of Hungary is breaking up. The Cumans are becoming the dominant force in Russia, which is cool. Well, they're not dominant. They're the biggest force in Russia, but they're not. They're not unbreakably dominant. Yeah, there's no Kingdom of Georgia. Usually there is around this time. It looks like the Jews in Crimea are still Jews. Cool. Yeah. The King of the Cumans is a child with realm duress, and looks like he's going to have crappy stats. So the Cumans' days may be numbered. Finland. No, it's just the name. Oh, and the Itil is still Jewish too. Cool stuff. Yeah, there's no Jewish characters anymore though. I don't think. It doesn't look like it. Maybe in the Crimea. Turkish looking guys. Now the Cumans, I don't know anything about the Cumans. They could be okay, it doesn't look like it. They could be, a Bulgarian tribesman or something like that. I don't really know anything about them. Historically, at least, I don't really can't give any insight into that. It's kind of interesting that things have kind of flipped. The Muslims are pushing into mainland Europe, which they actually did historically, while we are have pretty much captured and converted most of their, old Middle Eastern Empire, and the Byzantines are holding together pretty well. The Croatians are becoming very strong. They're actually stronger than Byzantium at this point, I think. So pretty much Catholicism is kind of eclipsing Eastern Orthodox in the world. Yeah, see, there's just this thin strip going up into Finland of Eastern Orthodox, and then pretty much the rest of it is pagans and Catholics. So that's pretty interesting. I always like to see things end up a bit ahistorically. This is going to be completely different once we get to EU3. And most of the world is going to be different than the way it is, with the exception of probably Germany. Germany is pretty much the same. I mean, with the exception of northern Germany, which is dominated by Denmark. And Brandenburg looks to be owned by Sweden. So, yeah. But Germany is pretty historical. As close as it could possibly be, though. The papal states are pretty strong. They've moved out of Rome, but that could change. They could recapture Rome. Well, not from France, really. But this is pretty historical. Most of northern Italy is kind of independent provinces, and southern France, Aquitaine, that sort of thing. But again, there's 200 years left, so anything could happen between then and now. Between now and then, excuse me.